Hello everybody, it's KeeperMC and we are starting our series of vanilla survival on 2B2T server, as they call it, the oldest anarchy server in Minecraft. As you can see, we have already appeared after like 4 or 5 hours waiting in queue somewhere around the spawn. Well, we have nothing in our inventory, of course, and our first task would be, of course, to attempt to escape the spawn. So let's try to do so. One of the most important things would be, of course, watch out for the withers, possibly other players, and of course our hunger, because not only is that we do not have any items, but we also do not have any food, which means that we could actually starve to death. And yeah, well, it's not my first attempt on 2B2T, so it's not the first time I'm playing, but well, all my previous attempts were not anything significant. Either I was playing like on my own, by simply building a small base, which we can actually potentially visit sometimes over the series. But well, yeah, also it was like a few months ago, so kinda a while back. And now, during the past few days, I also tried to record my first videos. Well, to be honest, the first attempts were not really successful because originally I was not sure about the OBS settings, the software I'm using for the recording, and therefore there was an issue that the recorded videos themselves are quite slow, so very little amount of frames per second, and of course also the chunk loading was too slow. It was totally noticeable how you're like traveling through the transparent world and suddenly some chunks appear. So, well, nothing pleasant for your eyes, so of course I just dropped it away. And well, my last attempts were a little bit more successful. I actually filmed some things like a day before, like yesterday, but unfortunately, well, since I'm kinda new within the field of like recording and placing things to YouTube, it was a little bit difficult for me to focus on a gameplay, and therefore I ended up like dying 3 or 4 times. Well, wouldn't call myself very smart as a player at that moment, because either I was shot by the skeleton on a horse, either something else, but in any case I died like 3 or 4 times, and as a result, of course, haven't managed to achieve much, even though I was playing like 2-3 hours. So I escaped the spawn for like 10k away, and well, died multiple times right there, losing all of my first tools I got crafted from the iron I got from the cave. So yeah, never mind. Basically, maybe eventually I will do some small video to recap how was it, how funny was it to die, and of course I still keep doing this right now by falling from this height. Okay, never mind. So we are just keep going. For now, what is that I would like to achieve? I would like to find a major axis, probably the X one, and then see if it is like safe enough to travel by it, because we need to go slightly away from the spawn to find any food or maybe wood and other resources. Alright, so which one we are currently on? Oh, so we're actually on the X-axis. That's cool. And I think that's gonna be the one we are going to continue walking on, because this is the same axis I was using like yesterday and a few days before to make my test records. And of course I already know that there are some melons planted, well, by me and also for some other players, so it would be a good attempt to get those melons back. So yeah, approximately 11k to be walked straight forward. and I think I will do it mostly off camera unless I will find something interesting to show you. So for you it would not be that boring as it's going to be for me, because it's obviously also needed to be considered that I'm not allowed to rush, like to sprint, because the sprint is wasting too much of a hunger, and if I will do so, most probably I will like get maybe to 3k away from the spawn, maybe 4k, and then of course I'll just die from hunger. So instead we are going to walk, not doing any jumps or anything else, unless we will see anything interesting. So yeah, let's just keep going. So now we are approaching the tunnel, which is going to lead us to directly to 0, basically the center of the map. And well, that's the most I would say that's the most boring part of it, because there is absolutely nothing, just the tunnel full of doors, sometimes also other blocks, and of course the floating water quite often, as you can see. And that's why, of course, we will also skip that footage, and we'll be back as long as we will exit the tunnel. Alright, what we can see here, there is the sign. What does it say? MC Zioxil was here. Was here. Well, today. Alright. Actually, well, despite the fact that some players are leaving the signs all around, and we can see that they are actually playing like every day, and the server itself is having like usually 250 players online, it's still quite a rare occasion if you actually meet any player online, because I mean, the map is huge. It's like 60 millions in each direction, I think, or maybe like 30, I don't know. But still, it's quite a lot. And of course, lots of players just escape the spawn and never come back. So they are building their own bases, exploring, maybe going to the map, to the world border, maybe like, I don't know, building something in other dimensions in Nether, maybe in the end. And of course, that's the reason why you can actually not meet any players nearby playing, I mean, even a whole day. But of course, if we would meet any of those players, I hope we will be lucky enough to not to get killed by them. But of course, we will see. Yeah. And of course, as you know, we are playing the pure vanilla. So we are not having any cheats, any hacks, any modifications on the game, meaning that we will not see any hidden things unless we will get lucky to discover them. And of course, no chests, no items and other things will pop up on those, as they call them, I think, ESPs. And of course, I'm sorry if I will just not notice something, but you will watching my videos. But who knows, maybe eventually I will also start using the hacked client, because at some point there's a huge advantage of using those. But that's not something for us to think at the moment. That's something for us to consider in the far future. What does this sign say? Road in bad shape, contact somebody. So someone is having the initiative to actually rebuild the road. And of course, yeah, it would be, I think, better to call this place not actually the road, but the highway, because there are a few major highways across each of the axes. And of course, there are lots of groups who are trying both destroy it and of course rebuild it. And I think eventually we can also maybe take our part and repair it a little. I mean, maybe place some fresh obsidian, remove those doors, maybe, I don't know, put some lanterns and stuff. Who knows? Who knows? I mean, that's a game about placing blocks anyways. But for now we are still keeping to go by the X positive axis. and we are still having like 9k to go. Right. So I will pause the record again, and if there will be anything interesting, then I will continue recording. And of course, as long as I did it, we managed to escape the tunnel just in a few seconds. And now we are actually going through the lava cast. Of course, we can still hear some withers destroying like the whole thing somewhere below, probably in the bedrock level. But that's okay. We'll leave them alone for now. And maybe in some decent future away from now, we will actually suit up with a full diamond and full enchanted set of armors, and then of course if we will have enough golden apples, as they call them, gapples or like god apples, we can actually do a raid and try to kill some withers just to clean out the spawn for a little. But of course for now we just need to get some food, so we keep going. Actually, I think it would not be a bad idea for us to hop on the nether portal. Oh, amazing, we got in our first combat. That's so unfortunate, because we'll probably get killed. Unless the person will be just annoyed enough to leave us alone. Damn. So I only mentioned that it's actually tricky to meet any living players here, and we got killed. Right? Yep. So I think this is it for now, and we will try another time anytime soon. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you around.